Hello, senior leadership. Welcome to our Netflix episode on Data Leaders. We're Group 4, presenting to you on the customers, competitors, and concerns of Netflix and the relevance that data has on each of those topics. Let's get started. Any great company and company strategy starts with the customers. And today, data is the currency of great strategy. The more customer data companies have, the better. Yet Netflix doesn't rely on the typical ways companies get data about their customer. Netflix doesn't collect demographic data when subscribers use the platform, only if they decide to share it in interviews and surveys. Even for geographic data, they gather information from IP addresses instead of precise locations. Instead, Netflix chooses to collect data strictly based on explicit and implicit behavior. They essentially create a personalized version of Netflix for each subscriber, and with 204 million paid subscribers in over 190 countries, this creates massive data events, 700 billion every day. This is broad information like what subscribers are watching, how long and how often, down to granular data like browsing and scrolling behavior, and the percentage of users who start season 1 of a television show and make it to season 3. This massive volume is then fed into their machine learning algorithms and recommendation systems, which Netflix has consistently developed since 2007. This is not just broad industry data about consuming media. This is data gained exclusively through subscribers interacting with Netflix. And that's their true competitive advantage, feeding trillions of daily data events into a complex algorithm system and doing it longer than anyone else. When the results of this kind of proprietary data strategy is award-winning original content, it constantly reinforces its value. Yet even as the market leader, Netflix isn't advancing without headwinds, and Francesca is going to speak about the competitive outlook and what that means for the future.
Thank you, Greg. Now that we have a clearer picture of Netflix's data-driven business model, we will review Netflix's current competitors and who it considers to be its biggest threat and why. Customary to a competitor's analysis, we have classified Netflix's biggest competitors as A, direct, and B, indirect. Direct competitors are those who offer matching or equal products, in this particular case, streaming video on demand. Conversely, indirect competitors are those who offer different products that in many cases act as substitutes, such as other entertainment platforms that compete for digital screen time. So let's dive in. Direct competitors. The streaming video on demand market has experienced great growth, with analysts expecting its market value to reach $157 billion by 2027. Consequently, it's no surprise that this segment has witnessed the entrance of new players such as Amazon Prime and Disney+. Though Netflix continues to project market leadership, as illustrated in Graph 1, Amazon has quickly gained popularity with over 150 million subscribers as of January 2020, roughly 50 million less subscribers than Netflix. Interesting enough, despite an increase of direct competitors, Netflix does not view these new streaming platforms as threats. On the contrary, Netflix views other types of entertainment platforms such as Fortnite or Stadia, Google's cloud gaming service, to be their biggest competitors. This was exemplified in their 2019 shareholder letter, where they famously stated, "We compete with and lose to Fortnite more than with HBO." The reasoning behind this is that there are a finite number of hours in a day. Consequently, Netflix, as any other entertainment platform, competes for screen time, hours a potential customer is in front of a computer, mobile, or TV. Then what is Netflix's strategy to maintain a competitive edge? The answer is high quality content and a positive user experience. This is why it has heavily invested, as no other streaming platform, in content creation, also known as Netflix Originals. In 2018, Netflix reportedly invested $12 billion in the production of new content. On the contrary, Amazon, its largest direct competitor, invested $5 billion. Additionally, it has invested and innovated its user experience through friendlier interfaces, for example, the preview videos we see with every new show, and interactive videos where the viewer can design its own story. The success of these endeavors are tied to the company's predictive analytics. The platform's algorithms, as Greg specified or noted, feed on consumers' navigation patterns and content views. This allows the company to A, locate areas of problem where the interface is not as friendly, and B, predict what the viewer wants to watch. Consequently, these algorithms have given Netflix a competitive edge, and the more viewers or members that subscribe to Netflix, the better the algorithm gets in understanding the consumer behavior and predicting the next content hits. With data analytics at the center of its corporate culture, Netflix will continue to explore its customer data, looking for areas in which it can better its customer experience. Now Liz will explore data security concerns that come in hand with many big data firms as Netflix.
Thanks, Francesca. Now we're going to talk about some data concerns. Netflix collects a lot of data on us, and we know this, but some of it we don't really realize just how much. They work a lot with their partners and third party providers to collect even extra data aside from your basic personal information, account settings, preferences, activity, different advertising and marketing that you interact with or engage with. And they really get a hold of a lot of your device information so they know exactly what device and where that device is that you might be using their platform on. And this leads into a big consumer concern that is becoming a growing issue in the world of data hacks and how much of my information is out there that I didn't give permission for them to use. The regulators' concerns are more just overall company breach concerns. Netflix, according to UpGuard, currently holds a 732 out of 950 rating score for security. Their biggest reason for the 730 is 32 is just their secure cookies not being used. They don't use these secure cookies because if they did, they wouldn't have their third parties wouldn't have the ability to intercept that information to help gather that information so that whatever platform you're on, the different clicks that you do and or information that you provide, it can't be between platforms used or shared between the companies with the secure cookies on. There was from the New York Times an article that stated recent research suggests that even when viewers try to shield their information, it is sometimes tracked without their permission and shared with corporate giants such as Facebook and Google. And I think big part of this is the partners and third parties and their different private policy statements. The only thing that Netflix has really incurred in terms of a possible data breach was back in June of 2020 when they had an encounter with an illegal streaming website where a hacker was trying to gain Netflix and HBO users so that they could personally steal their information and money. When the hacker was arrested for this, they did find that he's successful in claiming about $17 million in assets related to the scheme. So with that, just be safe on the internet, and we're off to the Tableau dashboard.
Thank you, Liz. Okay, well, we wanted our dashboard to look at the scale or the full scale of Netflix global operation present in 4 regions, with North America and EMA being the largest in terms of revenue. Liz?
We looked at the Netflix global revenue between the years of 2018 and 2020, and we found that between the years of 2018 and 2020, they had about a $9 billion increase.
And looking at additional regional information, it deepens the previous 2 sheets as it identifies each region's average revenue per membership and future data opportunities for strategy in creating more valuable content for our consumers. Thank you for your time.